I don't know who needs to hear this word, but I know it's going to help somebody. God's definition of love is an action word. Let me explain. So in John chapter 21, Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" 3 times. And every time Jesus would ask Peter this, Peter would simply say to Jesus, "You know that I love you." And every time Peter replied with, "Jesus, you know that I love you," Jesus would then say, "Feed my sheep, take care of my sheep," each time. Now, before this incident, at Jesus' Last Supper, Peter told Jesus that he loved him so much that he will die with him, for him. I mean, Peter was talking a lot, a big game. And also he told Jesus that he would never deny him. Now, Jesus said to him that surely before the rooster crows tonight, you are going to deny me 3 times. And surely that night, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. One of the lessons from this story is that anyone can say anything. Anyone can say that they love God. Anyone can say that they are a believer, that they are a Christian, that they have big faith. But ultimately, your actions speak louder than your words. Every time Peter told Jesus that he loved Jesus using his lips, Jesus would simply give him a task. Jesus literally showed him how it looks to love him. Jesus is the prime example of, if you love me, show me. I was listening to an interview, and in the interview, the man was asked, "Do you love the Lord with all your heart, might, and strength?" And the man replied, "What type of question is that? That is a question that I can't answer with my lips." Now, what I took away from this interview was Matthew 7:15, because it reminded me of when God tells us that we will know them by their fruits. We don't simply know who someone is just by their words, but by their actions, because those actions reveal who they truly are. God tells us to beware of false prophets that come in sheep clothing, but they are ravenous wolves on the inside. But have you ever asked yourself, like, what is sheep clothing? Being a wolf in sheep's clothing looks like saying one thing and doing the other. It looks like declaring you love the Lord, but doing the opposite of what he is telling you to do. God says that my sheep know my voice and I know them and they follow me. But to follow someone, you must become like the person you are following. So as we follow Jesus, we become more and more like him, meaning we submit to God, meaning that we are obedient to what he tells us to do. We are in agreement with Christ, with God, when he tells us who we are. When he calls us by our name and tells us that we are created in his image and his likeness, so that we shall rule on this earth and have dominion and power. We rise up and agree with him in our true identity instead of shrinking down. I have seen so many people call out false prophets while declaring they love the Lord and being disobedient to the Lord, not stepping out into their true purpose. And all of us have fallen into this. Truly, we all have been false prophets. Truly, we all have given God our lip service while our hearts were so far away from him. Truly, we have been bound by fear, rejection, loss of identity, brokenness, disease. The list goes on and on. While being bound by a false identity, but declaring that we love the Lord, which means that we are disagreeing with God. We're not stepping out into our true purpose, into our true calling, and into our true selves, understanding who he is, following him by becoming all that he says that we are. So with all that being said, I wanted to say that until we serve God's people, feed his sheep, because we know who we are in Christ, we know our calling, we know our purpose, we know that this is destiny and this is who God called us created us for, to be a light in the world. So until we do that, we are simply loving God with our lips and not by our actions. So anybody can say that I love God, but at this time, God is saying, show me. Show me that you love me. Y'all be blessed. I hope this helped.